Welcome to Sculler Metals. As I'm sure it is for a lot of you out there, it is freezing cold outside. I mean, it's got to be, I don't know what it was, maybe got up to 15 degrees today. And as the sun goes down, it's going to get way colder. It's even cold down here in my basement. One of the things I thought about last night is I have a bunch of stuff that I've collected over time that I think is just kind of cool, odd, whatever it is. And so when I cleaned out the garage a couple months ago or whatever, I was able to get one rack out of there. I have that downstairs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up that rack, and then all of these little special knick-knacky items I'm going to put on that shelf because I wanted to put them somewhere. They're all kind of just sitting around everywhere in buckets. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. And because, you know, scrapping or melting metal or anything right now is just out of the question. You're just going to freeze out there, and that is not interesting. So figure might as well do something that may be interesting. So that's what we're going to do right now. And then at the end, of course, I'm going to show you all these little knick-knacky things that I have found that I thought was cool. All right, let's do it. This is a really bright light. Okay, so I'm done with my fun shelf. I put a couple things over here. This is a big chunk of copper and whatever else that I got stuck in the bottom of a crucible, and I couldn't get it to melt the rest of the way. I think I probably had an issue going on, but I got it out of the crucible like that, so I just kept it. This is sterling silver. I have some other sterling that I'm gonna melt, but I'm gonna hang on to that. That's pretty cool. Then I got all different kinds of stuff here. Try not to get in the light, but this is a thermometer, and it has some mercury rolling around inside of this little case. I don't know what this was, but I had a bunch of pins on it, so I'm like, yeah, what the heck. All of these spoons I have, and some down at the bottom, are not magnetic. I think they're probably just copper or whatever. These are pewter. Got a beer tap. I got this thing. That's copper. This is all copper here. This is a lightning rod. One of the points came off, but yeah, you can see that this is copper. I melted most of it, but wanted to keep one, so I kept that one. This is a big, cool doorknob system. Handles are brass. I think probably these plates are brass as well. But yeah, I thought that was cool. Got another brass doorknob here. Just hanging on. This is a poker that was on a fireplace set. Solid brass, melted most of it. Don't know if this is a wrench or what it is, but Ken Tool, Akron, Ohio. I've got 3 different bells. Cowbells. That's a cowbell. That one's not. This one's kind of cool because it says 750 Elks, Kenosha, 1937. So kept that for whatever reason. I don't know if this is a flow meter or what. I had never seen one before, so I kept it. Little shifter knob. This was, I think, my grandpa's knife. The Lord is my shepherd. Sounds like definitely a knife that he would have. Would be cool to clean it up at some point. Matchbox cars. This stuff, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's sterling, but I don't know what it is. It was in here. The lid was open, all the spoons and then all this stuff, so not quite sure. Then down here is more of the tool type stuff. I've got some really cool hammers that were my grandpa's back in the 40s and 50s. Hammers I'm not going to use, but pretty stinking cool anyway. I put the grinder to the ends, shine them up a little bit. And of course, somewhere I had found some really old nail, square. I think these are for a welder. They're copper, turning green. Got a smaller little tip here. This piece and this piece, I believe I heard, is for tying flies for fly fishing. This used to be my stir stick when I was melting. It broke off eventually, but I had a big chunk of copper stuck to it. These two pieces are also pieces that were stuck on my stir stick at one time. This one's kind of cool, kind of looks like a mushroom. There's a bunch of silver contacts that I tried to melt and they didn't melt. They stuck together in a big wad. These two switches were off of welders that I had scrapped out. This came off some equipment that I just got. Got a hockey puck somewhere, no idea. This little bottle you probably saw in previous, but it says to apply 2 times a day for aching, dated 1949. And then these are just big, I don't know, just a hammer stuff. This is that same type of thing, but it's copper. So no wonder it smashed down on one end, but I thought that was cool. This is a bread crumber. Universal bread crumber, so I guess you just hook that to something and make breadcrumbs with it by grinding it up. I think this is the inside of a hard drive or something. The tweezers, not sure why. A couple pieces of brasses I found. Of course, I found those mirrors somewhere, so I figured I'd put those to use. This was really dingy at one time. I put the wire wheel on it and cleaned that all up. Those are more spoons that I had found. Of course, the army stuff. Oh, I got some locks upstairs too that I can add to that. But anyway, that's my what I find interesting. So I'm saving that stuff. I'm not sure it makes sense to do it, but those are my racks there, man. And the more interesting stuff I find, I'll put over there. Got this at a house. She was just wanting to get rid of it. A sundial, pretty heavy. It's cast iron. So, yeah, just some interesting stuff. I think I had this thing tested, and it's not like a precious metal or anything, but it's got to be a lamp of some kind, and it says CCCP on it. So I mean, is this Russian? I don't know. I got that in an online auction, but I still like it, so put that out there. Oh, I also got this at a flea market type of thing. It's just a big piece of copper. Then these bottle openers here, this is says Theo Ham Brewing Company. This was Blatt's beer, and this says Schlitz. So had to keep those. Tape measure here. One of them round ones. Don't know how old it is, but it's called the Mechanic's Pal. Went and picked up something today. Man, is that cool? Look at this. Man, there's a dude that lives in my city, not too far from me, Phil. He sells vices and anvils and all kinds of stuff, but he also cuts trees for a living. And I asked him if he had something that I could pound on. I think these are like considered anvil stumps, or he calls them that anyway. So picked that up this morning. This mofo's heavy. I got to get out of my truck somehow. I really don't want to like drop it and knock this wood off, but it's going to be a nice piece to display stuff and for me to pound on stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I needed to get to the recycler yesterday, and I kind of spaced it. Didn't think about it until about 2:30, and that was too late to be able to get there. So, all right, let's get this out of here. I wonder how long this thing's gonna have to sit in here to thaw out. So it's oak. It's a nice chunk of wood. It's gonna be nice to be able to pound on this thing. And probably when I do melts, I can display my stuff on it. That's what I plan to do anyway. But we're gonna leave it in here and let it thaw out. It's nice. I thought stripping wire was going to be a good winter project, but when it's this cold, this wire is so stiff. It really needs to be warm and soft to kind of do it right. So not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know if I can heat my garage up enough to get this stuff warmed up, but we'll see. All right, thanks guys, appreciate you watching. Peace.